The ICC World Cup beckons. Who will win? Preparation matches are abound. Today, West Indies defeated Australia, but across the Atlantic, there was a clash of the Titans. Pakistan versus England. And we see Josh Butler struggling with that ball outside off stump because of the might of the Pakistani pace attack. And where am I? I'm actually in Montego Bay. Jitega koi jitega, Pakistan jitega. Lekin mein West Indies se aaya hu. So I support West Indies and I support the culture of West Indies and decided therefore to take a visit to Usain Bolt's Tracks and Records. This is the Montego Bay branch. I was impressed by the fact that he does not also have memorabilia of himself and his great times, but he features some of the legends of the music scene in Jamaica. Marsha Griffiths, Bob Marley was seen earlier, and Jimmy Cliff. So it's really good to see him humble enough to project the other great legends. I had a fruit smoothie. Banana was very evident in the dish, and I had a flatbread, was kind of like a chapati pretty much. Seemed Middle Eastern, but like a cross between a chapati. As we see the England flag flying high, they will be expecting to try to defeat the West Indies. But the Pakistani attack is really strong. Plus, they have Babar Azam, Fakhar Zaman, a lot of top flight talent. And speaking about Pakistan, I can't help but show you some of their favorite dishes here, like jalebi, a gulab jamun. And these dishes are also common with India, particularly North India, because today on the show, after visiting Usain Bolt's Tracks and Records, I'm visiting an Indian grocery obliquely opposite from Tracks and Records. And this is a no-named, no-frills grocery that offers 24 items in typical Indian or dhaba style. But more than that, they pack in one section of the grocery all the kind of kattu mita flavors you want for snacks. Haldiram is usually there. Haldiram was sold out today actually. And these snacks are oftentimes made out of gram flour, rice. And in terms of religious articles of worship for Hindus, they have Ganga Jal, which is holy water literally coming from the Ganges. Camphor or Gugul, very popular, along with dhoop, used for worship, especially in puja, like puja to Lakshmi. Now, Hindus practice Sanatan Dharma. That's actually our religion. It refers to a religion of eternal righteousness or values. But when you see us using religious articles of worship, what we're really doing is we're paying homage to the deities through an understanding of evoking the notion of the 5 different elements. So this is why we oftentimes put religious articles of worship into a fire for a hawan. And when we incur certain mantras or prayers, what we're really doing is trying to call upon deities that protect us from the elements. And we also worship or revere highly our ancestors, right? Because in Hindu culture, Matri Deva Bhava, Pitri Deva Bhava, Guru Deva Bhava means that the mother is God, the ancestors are God, and even the teacher is God. So these are some traditions that Hindus and Indians hold dear to them. And when it comes to cooking, you know, Indians like to preserve their pickled goods with achar masala and definitely mustard oil that was seen earlier. But here you see that the Indian diaspora in Jamaica and throughout the world, it's become so heavily commercialized now. We have different versions of achar. And of course, Indians like their tea, not just regular tea coming from, let's say, Dharamshal or from Sri Lankan tea, which is amongst the best in the world, but there's now a craze over the chai masala tea, which has elaichi in it and also cinnamon, mirch, and that really spices it up. But for Indian Arrival Day, I thought it would be good to do a rating and pay homage to Saffron Restaurant, that I think is the best Indian restaurant in Jamaica. And I think some of the best Indian food in Jamaica is also to be found at Trinidad by Mr. Misir Rambaran. So just as Usain Bolt signals to the world, I wish you the best for the Indian Arrival Day celebrations. Guyana, happy independence. I go into my spice cupboard for my jeera, my methi, my mirch, my jawine, my dhania. All of these are used in a lot of my basic, simplest Indian curries. You would see that I'm shifting away from the Shan brand and I'm using more Indian spices and even the Chief by Trinidadian Spice Company, which is quite good. Otherwise, Firmilinge, Kodafis, ciao guys, see you soon as I make my chana masala. Bye bye. I hope you have a good weekend ahead.